think I got to do it on here too. All right. So we're trying some new stuff here, guys, to see if this works. Start live video. Oh, nope. All right, I'm trying to get to go live here. Oh, there we go. I think it is. All right, we'll try it. See if we get anybody viewing and writing any comment to see if that actually works. So, oh, there we go. I think it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay online, but that's normal.
Yep.
All right, we'll try it. See if we get anybody viewing. So, all right. So, welcome to the Car Lounge, guys. Tonight we got Brock and Devin. Dan is having technical difficulty because
We have 5 hours of phone updates.
he hasn't updated his phone in a few years, and to run these programs, you have to have it makes him update his browsers and his system, and it told him he had over 300 minutes of updates. So we're going to be a while. So I'll just throw out a bunch of topics that we have. And the real reason we're doing this live on here tonight is we're going to try to use this for breaks to see if the system works right, and see how it works. But Devin, big news today I saw was that apparently the CEO of SGC immediately resigned, and they said that they are no longer doing like any kind of bulk submissions. Do you think that's because of PSA? The parent company bought SGC, and now they're just almost trying to squeeze them out.
I do. I think that's gonna be the popular vote. I think some of the smaller grading companies are gonna have issues. I think PSA is gonna really look to take over the market. Um, but I don't know. eBay starting their own thing. It'll be interesting to see. But it seems like it's coming down to just the few giants of the game taking control.
Yeah, and it's almost, to me, it's frustrating because you, and I saw a thing online somebody wrote, and it was actually a pretty good write up about it, and it said they're trying to pretty much squeeze out the SGC because they didn't like that. I guess people were submitting to them only because of they could do their turnaround faster and things of that nature, and they wanted it to more be like they wanted SGC to be more like PSA, and I guess the thing is the people there don't want it to be. And I guess a few of them are just getting squeezed out because if the CEO resigns effective immediately, that usually means that you're given a severance package and told to take a hike. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's a shame because I like we did a whole episode a while ago, Brock, Dan, and I on all the different grading companies that we use, and we use a lot of them, and we like using SGC just because of the turnaround. And even though the stuff, to a reseller brings 10% less, your your time with the product out isn't near as long though either. So, it's more liquid. You can turn the stuff over faster if you can get it back faster. Because I don't know how many times we sent stuff to PSA through, like, say, their bulk submission, and it takes 3 months to get it back, and by the time you get it back, the market on that person tanked already, and you missed your time frame. Um, do you think a lot of this is with whenever you go to PSA, if you pay them more money, they turn it around faster? Where SGC, they only had two options. They had the regular 15 to 20-day option and the 1 to 2 day turnaround, which we just did for a customer last week, and it was, I think, $40 a card for a 2 day turnaround, which was awesome. I sent the stuff. I mailed it out on a Monday night, We got it back, I think, the next Tuesday in hand. So in 8 days, we had the cards graded and back. Do you think that's part of it too? Is they're just trying to say, hey, we don't want this competition. We want everything to be like this, and we know those people will come up.
Yeah, I also PSA, I know like stop charge on cards. I know me and you have talked about it before. Sending a card, not really quite sure its value, maybe not sure it's gonna grade a 10 and does grade a 10, and next thing they're trying to upcharge you a couple $100 for your card back. I think that's part of it too. It's just like you get rid of the companies where they do the bulk submissions because they want to maximize the value on each graded card. Um, so I don't know. I'd be curious. I'm curious to see what it does to the pop counts. If there's less people grading cards, are there going to be, less, more pop ones, less of the some of the sevens and eights because people are going to be a lot more picky grading.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
Do you think now where it's been lately, it's been PSA, you know, and a lot of the numbers what I'm reading are totally skewed because they're doing so much Pokemon stuff now.
Hmm.
So actually, the sports cards numbers and everything are dropping.
Yep.
Pokemon's going up. So you got SGC or PSA, and then was it CGC is like number two right now. They almost came out of nowhere. Because I think they always did a lot of Pokemon stuff, but now people are sending their sports stuff into them too. We've never dealt with them. Um, and then you got SGC and Beckett. You know, do you think some of those other ones, if say SGC starts getting somewhat whitewashed or eliminated, do you think all those people are just going to simply go to PSA, or do you think these other ones are going to start gaining a little more ground again? Because 5 years ago, Beckett was number one, by far, and now they're had a little
I
scandal,
think,
and now they're number four.
yeah, I think it'll depend on maybe some partnerships. I know GameStop is now with PSA. Their GameStop, the last I had seen, is they're going to be done selling games in general. They've moved completely into the trading card realm, which shows how big Pokemon's become
Mhm.
again. Um, but they also do their own grading. GameStop, they send out through PSA. So um, it's going to be tough for other grading companies. I think PSA is just going to be on the up and up. Um,
Yeah, and it's tough because like you always want options number one, and now it's almost. But then there are like you as a someone who sells does a lot of
mhm.
repacks things like that. Are you like a PSA or the highway type guy, or
For
is it?
the most part, yeah, for the most part, for me specifically, I like the eights and nines.
Mhm.
I like the PSA for the value, but the number doesn't always justify the card. Just because the card grades an eight, depending on the card, it still sells like a nine.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so I buy personally PSA more than anything else. If I buy Beckett, it's mainly authenticated autos.
Got it.
But other than that, it's a lot of PSA stuff. But I like the eights and nines, the tens, obviously great resale price, but also a little on the pricier end.
Now, if somebody comes to you with say Beckett or FGC, are you more of like you just don't want it because of, or will you pretty much always take it and then say, hey, maybe I could, if you really don't like it in that slab, you could crack it or sell it raw or or send it in the PSA, or are you just pretty much like if people come to you, is it like I don't want to say turn your nose at it, but will you turn it away because it's not in PSA?
I won't turn it away. I think it's on an on-card basis. If I like the card, don't really matter who it's graded by, even if it's a grading company I never heard of, like you said, you just recraft the slab, send
Mhm.
it into PSA or whatever. So I will buy the card for the card, but I won't always take the grading companies at cost. Like obviously a PSA 10, I don't consider even an SGC 10 compared to a PSA 10. So I'll look at added it through a different market, but I will still buy the card if I like it.
Now,
Personally, for me, like my PC, I like a lot of SGC stuff. So I'm like, I like to resell PSA, but I personally, the SGC, the black slabs, I like that look. Cedo.
now you said something there a little bit ago, um, about like we. I know you said SGC is like your thing,
Hmm.
but with, and I'm almost forgetting what I was going to ask you there, but PSA, like, do they? I want to say they have to be it, but like, why do you think like a PSA 10 and an SGC 10 don't match up, or a Beckett 9.5 or a Pristina Black Label 10? Why, with how, what we've been hearing, and we've sent stuff in, with how inconsistent sometimes PSA is, why does a 10 not equal a 10 somewhere else? Is it just a name?
I, yeah, just like everything else, it's just opinionated. I think a lot of people on the internet, like it's PSA or die. So most people in general, like that's kind of what they follow by is
Mhm.
you don't want to be the one that's buying SGCs or SGC 10s at PSA 10 prices if you don't have to. As for me, I think we've kind of lost even the eights and nines. I think they've lost their way on values. Like I would consider a PSA 8 around raw value. Now lately, it seems the prices have dropped or the eights are being less than. I just can't see you paying $20 to grade a card at the minimum and even being graded an eight being able to sell less than what it raw. Like it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
agree with you there.
but yeah, it's tough with the overwhelming majority looking specifically for PSA, or if it is Beckett, Black Label, but even you don't see them very often. So for the
No,
most part, the Beckett cards I have, a lot of people are just like interested in PSA stuff. So I'm
yeah.
not trying to buy too much stuff that I'm gonna hold on to for long periods of time.
Brocco, what do you think, buddy?
I don't know.
No, no, no comment on it. Like, if do you think a PSA 10 and a SGC 10 should be worth the same amount, or do you think PSA is that much better than everybody else? Mm.
PSA
Not
gets the hype.
really. Yeah, I don't really
Does it matter to you, Brock? Like, do you care what it?
know.
If you like the card, you just like the card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's roller graded.
Do you care who it's graded by?
No,
No.
I like SGC. I like in PSA.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not a big fan of like IS.
And I know, like, part of it with me is I almost don't like it SGC, because number one, they have juice in the game. You know, they're controlling pop counts. They're submitting the vault, eBay, all this stuff now. So it's like, I feel like they're supposed to be a third party grader. Now they're kind of in everything. So to me, it seems like, we submitted a card last week for one of our clients to PSA, and it came back. It was a Caglione. He we probably sent like 4 or 5 of them. He got, I think, three tens, two nines, and then one of them came back, I think, a six, and the six looked perfect. I mean, you look at it under the scope, you put it on the measurement thing, it looked better than some of the ones they gave tens to. And it wasn't an auto grade either. It was just a card grade. So it's like, are they trying to control, or saying like, hey, we gave them all these nines and tens, let's dump a six on them and see if they resubmit it? Because a lot of people do that. I won't do it. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But a lot of people do that, and so they're looking to get another whatever it is, at a high level, of 40-50 bucks a mission again. Um, so that aggravates me about PSA, and that's why I don't understand why people are like, oh, PSA or die, we need PSA. I get it. You know, you're there, but why are people who are not resellers, collectors, why do they just want PSA? I don't know. I think the slab's ugly. You know, you drop it, damn thing cracks. You know, so I just don't get it. So
It's yeah, I don't it's just very opinionated. Like a lot of things in life, it just seems that every feel like you said PSA's pushed so much by whether it's eBay and Card Vault. It just seems that uh that a lot of people just listen to that.
yep, yeah. So we got some comments now showing up. Uh, they want to know when you're going to start grading cards, man. When you because you're taking over the game. You know.
Well, uh funny, so myself, but I've actually Nick these has started grading cards. They've been doing it a while. Obviously you guys have been doing through a couple different companies, so we're going to be starting to grade cards soon. We're pushing it for the group. Any cards that get hit in any breaks or any of my repack breaks, if they want to grade the cards, they can send them to me, and we'll clean them up, take a look at them. Nick takes care of all that, takes care of all the shipping. He's become the expert kind at it, so I
Yeah,
let him handle that.
I'm like a
I'll
shipping
buy the
department.
cards. Yep, I buy the cards, he can grade them.
So it's the now here's the next thing. Next quick topic here, and I'm trying to like look on my phone because I've stuff texting me on there too. If like Jeff Wilson, who is I think he's good for the hobby. You guys brought a lot of attention to some things. You know, he came out earlier this week and said we're going to shock the world or you know redo the hobby on Wednesday. Well, it's what you're doing. It's pretty much certified repacks by PSA that he's just selling through his store. So
Yep.
what? And you might be able to give me more info because I'm not in big into the repack world. When he says it's certified, it's a certified PSA repack. Does that just mean like they're just saying like it's not fake? Like 'cause some repackers might be pretty scummy and they might be putting fake cards or something in these boxes. You know, what's the difference between what they're trying to do and like say what you do when you do repacks?
Um, well, I guess everybody has their own system, sorta. So if he's certified, all his arena clubs the same way. They do repacks. But my guess is that they're licensed autos. And if they're all graded, they're probably straight from PSA, their Vault or whatever. So probably like PSA owned cards that they're sending in. Um, but yeah, not really a difference. It seems to be like the new wave. It's tough when a lot of these cards nowadays are climbing up in the thousands of dollars, and a
Hmm.
lot of people can't afford them, especially the downtowns, the uh, kabooms.
Booms.
Yeah, the market has just gotten to a point where it's hard for people to collect these kind of cards. So the repacks are a good way just to kind of get in cheap, as are the Razes. It's just become like a new wave of getting people, especially who are just starting into the hobby, to kind of get their hands on cards that, can really start a collection too. $1,000 card, if you sell, could really get the ball rolling. Like we talked about before, all it takes is a little snowball effect and things can build astronomically.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, do you think that repacks will almost, if they get even more popular than what they already are, do you think that will cause prices of, say, boxes to go down? Or will it cause them to go up because more people are going to keep trying, just buying cases to do repacks?
Yeah, I think both. I think the repacks are good for the hobby because it does keep prices so high. The reason why these cases hits are so expensive is because everybody's looking to do the repacks and all the repackers are buying them for. So prices are super competitive, whether it's on eBay, Facebook, whatnot. Um, Prices are super competitive, and that's because of the repack. Same thing with a lot of the high-end autos, the Flawless, the Immaculate, the National Treasure. It's hard as just a regular hobbyist to spend a couple $1,000s on a box of cards where you only get a few cards. But if you're guaranteed to be able to at least sell those cards to a repacker, uh, extremely high value, more than the common 80% that most people offer, it brings a different game to the hobby.
Yep. So, hopefully we can try to get Dan back on here. Maybe, real quick, we can get another one in next week. I think Dan's away. He's on vacation. We're going away for a few days. Devin pretty much has card shows now. It seems like 7 days a week for the next 6 months, which is a good thing. So if anybody, you're watching out there, Devin, tell them where you're going to be in the next few weekends. Plug yourself.
Uh, yeah, so Saturday I'll be up at the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees Stadium. The Pocono Show is hosting the show up there. It's close to about 80 tables, almost majority of sports. So I'll be down the third base side. I have 3 tables. You can come check me out. Um, August 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'll be at the Palmer Park Mall in Easton, PA. That's a 3-day show right on the Easton, Bethlehem, and Jersey border. Um, so that show has close to about 70 tables that's sold out. There's a card shop in that mall that's excellent. And then I'll be with you guys August 17th at Blackjack's Bar.
Cool. Cool, man. So, is there any like the one you're doing this weekend at Scranton Stadium? Is there any? What's like your showcase piece that you're putting out?
So I have a few right now. I have an Illusions rookie Josh Allen RPA. um, that I've been holding on to for a little minute. So that's something that I'm pretty actively looking to move before the season starts.
Oh, I bet that's sweet looking, man.
Um, yeah, so that's one of the big ones. Got a few case hits. Peyton Manning, Dragon Scale, PSA 10, some cool stuff. But other than that, I'm just kind of excited to get to meet some new people and kind of push the group a little bit with the breaks upcoming and that. Got some
Definitely.
new business cards made and just hoping to keep growing.
Yep, that's the goal here. So, guys, like Devin said, we're going to be doing some breaks. Uh, right now we're like the last week of July. We're probably going to wait until like first week of August or so to do them. We'll start posting those. You can go to Roth's Razzes on Facebook, join the group. That way you can partake and watch the breaks. And then we'll be posting how to get in the breaks. Go to palsportscards.com. You go on there, and that's how you'll take care of ordering your team, everything like that. It'll show you all the different breaks that we're going to do. We have some good things coming forward here. A few good breaks here in the month of August for you with a bunch of new product. So that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I mean, just a quick night, seeing if we can get everything integrated here with Facebook, and it looks like it went off. We had a comment or two showing up, so looks like it worked. So now our goal is to just fix Dan and get him to be able to get on here. He's supposed to be running this show, and he hasn't done an update in 5 years. So
Yep,
you
we
know,
got about 5 years worth of updates and 10 years worth of emails for him to clear out before he can join us.
yeah. So hopefully he can get that in. So all right, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. See you, Brock. See you, Nick.
See ya.
See ya.